WIIFTBPM.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
If you're a business professional, have you ever wanted to multitask on your way to an important meeting instead of navigating through traffic? Fellowship Fleet Limousine and Bus Company is your solution for chauffeured ground transportation. Our company provides sedans, SUVs, stretch limousines, vans, and buses for corporate travel, airport transfers, and group shuttles. If you're a corporate travel manager, individual business professional, event or meeting planner, relax. Let us take the wheel. Visit fellowshipfleet.com to book right now.
Jackson. If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Remy said a Juke-a-thon Day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, that not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that? Yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this thing.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
You prove me wrong. This ain't a regular love, baby. It's that waking out your sleep and me massaging your feet, baby. It's that anything you want, I'm only here to please you, baby. You're in my command, hey. Your kiss sends me a shot of dopamine. Oh no, I never had an interest in love until I met you. And I don't know if it's real or is it just a phase I'll go through. But I feel that it's true. We don't need no labels, baby. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, baby. Lady, we don't need no labels to show that what we have is something special. For sure, for sure. I don't feel it's a one night stand. No. It's that love you in your eyes. Make love in paradise. I want a lifestyle. It's that sweep you off your feet. Give you everything you need. That's what I'm feeling. It's that don't pick up the phone, cause we wanna be alone. And I never thought I'd feel this way. Then you came along and proved me wrong. Oh, no, I never had an interest until I met you. And I don't know if it's real. Or is it just a phase I go through? But I feel that it's true. We don't need no labels, babe. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, babe. Lady, we don't need no labels to show that what we have is something special. For sure. Since you came in my life, I see so clearer now, yeah. You're so special, no need for labels.
Sometimes have a tendency to look at you religiously, yeah, but nothing even matters to me. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. You won't find me at no store. No time for manicures. With you it's never either or. 'Cause nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters at all. Nothing even Nothing even matters. Now my team could score and make it to the Final Four. Just repossess me 4x4. Yeah, 'cause nothing even matters no more. Nothing even matters, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nothing even matters to me. WIFTV PM.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stoger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. On this Thursday. It is Thursday. It is the day after. Sometimes they call it Wipe Down. We call it Wipe Down Thursdays. The day after week 304 Wednesdays. We have an action-packed schedule. I guess we missed somebody yesterday. No green side of things yesterday, but I do think we had everybody. New Era, Chicago in the building. Chris the Critic in the building. Hey, man, Chris, I understand you're a neophyte, man. I got you. Don't nobody care if you got diamond ice cubes, dog. I checked out your face. It's all right, though. Let me stop. Let me give you a neophytitis. Shout out to Chris the Critic, y'all. In case y'all did not know, Chris recently became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. So I'm gonna give him a shout out, man. I can't wait to I'm Chris. I'm coming to your Christmas party too. I'm telling you, the Jackson's crashing, and we gonna be fresh. You know what I'm saying? Every year they have a big. I probably shouldn't even be talking about it because they'll be like, anyway, Chris the Critic. His wife is really the breadwinner in the house. Chris be talking a lot of smack. You ever seen Tasha when she come in the room though? Like, people be like, attention. I remember one time I had a meeting with Tasha. We was talking. I was telling her my issues. And she was like, man, she just took my phone and was like, it could be done this quick. So I know Chris be talking smack. Actually, though, I'm going to stop. I'm all up in their business. All right, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Plus, then Riis, we had week 304 Wednesday. I say it's wiped down, but you already wiped it down because everywhere I go, it's gone. It's like bam, pow. You know now, Riis. You know when you send me a text like that, now you know I'm looking for it, right? Because now I want to know what happened. Like I'm like, dang. And then I got up this. I tried to do it yesterday. I tried to do it. It was gone. It was like I just went. It was like boom, bam, pow. Then I woke up this morning and it was there. So I don't know. So what? Good show yesterday. How'd it go yesterday, Riis? It's the Maze. Hey, first of all, back up. It is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Rolling solo dolo as we have been for the whole week. But I told you, I don't roll solo dolo. I gotta have my man DJ Riis the Ruler, who is flying the plane with me. So Riis, what's up, man? How you feeling this morning?
I'm blessed by the best. You already know the rest. I'm tired a little bit, but other than that, I'm good. I ain't got no sleep.
You ain't had no doubles? Tonight ain't make you make no double dish.
Nah. But I'm here all day on Wednesday, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right. Wednesday a long day.
Yeah, so I was here.
You had a no call, no show?
No. He hit me up. It was just later.
Oh, okay.
Later.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I was basically here from like 1 all the way until like 10.
10? Your show is over at 8:30, dog.
My show started at 8:30.
Oh, it's over at 9. All right. What y'all be having the post show?
Nah, but I got to clean up, make sure my,
right. I've been noticing my headphones being here.
Wednesday crew. Nah, I switch it in.
I noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed. I was like back in the, hey, I start to feel a little bit like, you know what I'm saying? You know how you be having your stuff and everything be yours, you ain't got to mess with nothing. And then Wednesday come and it's like, oh, straight up. You mean I got to readjust my chair? I be having to check. I be having to check to make sure ain't no booty sweat left over in the chair. And some of the stuff y'all was talking about last night, I was like, well, dang, goodness gracious.
Yeah, it was
it's y'all, man. I'm a little old. I be like, my ears are sensitive.
We was really talking about that live Christmas. We might want to do a live Christmas show.
Well, you gonna have to figure it out because me and Maurice Fitzgerald already talked yesterday. So December 21st, check this out, y'all. Live, we're gonna have a live Christmas special. Maurice Fitzgerald, he putting the band together. Plus, then on top of that, Riis, he gonna have singers. We're gonna be like jingle bells, jingle bells, but it's gonna be like a Black Christmas special live. And then it's going to be limited people who can come to the live taping, and the rest of y'all can watch it on TV. It's going to be dope. And it's going to be like, you saw the band was funky, right? It's going to be funky. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, like, I can't wait I can't wait till they play Let It Snow. I want to know who could do it. Let It Snow, because that's a classic. But I still want to hear, Anyway, we're going to talk about Christmas. We're going to have to pull some Christmas songs up out of here. My favorite Christmas song that I didn't know, Santa Claus is a Black Man. Have you heard that one? Santa Claus is a black man. That's Santa Claus is a black man. Yeah. Matter of fact, Riis, you're going to have to find that. We're going to have to play that today. We're going to have to get in trouble for that one, too. I think I'm just all about the trouble these weeks. I've come to the conclusion that I am a live broadcaster. If you get on the replay, you die. Right? How you say you die? If you don't make it through but if you better catch it on the first one. You be like, what was they talking about? Dang, it was funny. Now I'm gonna tell y'all though, it is kind of crazy to see how many people actually go back and rewatch during the day. Like I didn't realize. Oh. I was just looking at the analytics the other. First of all, I'm gonna stop talking about the analytics because it'd be like different. Then they'll be saying I'm bragging, so I ain't gonna brag. I sure was looking at I'm gonna start putting them bad boys up so that just in case 20 years from now y'all don't say I was Michael Jordan, my stats gonna be there. They gonna be like, bet you. I'm gonna just have to. I told you, Riis, it's gonna be like. When I went up to my son's practice the other day, Riis, and I pulled up and I seen all them banners, Mike was like, you can talk that smack, Scotty, but when I walk up in this building, you, that say me. Now, you was on team, but don't you forget who Jordan is. And see, the problem with Scottie Pippen is these millennials, y'all will be like, you know what, somebody could just say, you know what I think. You'll just roll a bomb out there.
Y'all rolled the bomb out there, and now y'all got the Michael Jordan meme, and now y'all got all the whole world disrespecting Mike. Greatest basketball player ever. Because the millennials don't respect nothing. Good Lord. Michael Jordan, man. Man, people come all the way from around the world to come take a picture with this statue. Scottie Pippen talk about some. Scottie Pippen sound like a millennial. Oh, crybaby. I used to be like, I used to see Scotty up at Soho, and you'd be like, what up, Scott? Because when you be there, you got to kind of be cool. Like, I'm cool too, shoot. But I'd be like, that's Scott. Now I'd be like, nah. I just be looking at Scotty like, you'd be like, and I know he can hear it. I do it so he can't hear me. I'd be, oh. Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan in a world full of Scottie Pippens, man. It's tough in this world sometimes, Riis. It's just tough. It's all right, though. That's why I'm going to start posting my joints. I'm going to put them, like, in the stars every week. We're going to put the numbers right there. I'm going to be like, who the king? I'm just playing. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler. Y'all, can I tell you, yeah. You ever been somewhere and you just be sitting there and you talking to the people in the room and you be like, how in the hell did I get in this room? No, like really, you be like, wait. So Riis, I went to dinner last night. So I was at a business dinner out in Downers Grove. And at the meeting, I'm talking to one of the guys, and it turns out he's an F-16 fighter pilot. Like a Top Gun, like fly the jets, like shooting and going to war. Can I tell you how interesting that conversation was? Like talking to somebody who is at it with China and telling me about what's going on for real in the world. At 8:30, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to have to get him on the show. Because we had an interesting conversation about patriotism and being an American and all. I can't just, how you supposed to just not talk about certain things and, it's just the person that just can't help it. Wait a minute, you a fighter pilot? I got questions. Because, we ain't going to ever get to talk to Maverick, right? Oh, y'all know nothing about Maverick. Y'all young. Y'all know nothing about the Top Gun. Take my breath away. Y'all don't know nothing about that. See? Riis, you don't even know nothing about. Did you ever even see Top Gun?
Oh, yeah, I know Top Gun. Yeah, I know about my uncle would only watch all the old movies to Top Gun. And, like, anything that was old, like, that's how I watched, like, MASH. Is that what it is? MASH, whatever it is.
Oh, I hated MASH. MASH was the worst. I might have to go back and watch MASH now because I might be able to get it. But back then, I was like, if you heard MASH, you was either trying to get to the channel to turn it quick. So, no, because some kind of way your parents like MASH. And I hated MASH, but yeah.
It came on after some show, you just was deciding.
Yeah, it was like,
turn the TV off, then that's how you end up. Most episodes of MASH I watched because I was already watching something. Either couldn't find more, so I just sat there and left it on and looked like.
MASH must have came on, I think, at 6:30.
It was all right.
MASH, I remember at one point, MASH was like one of the biggest shows on TV ever. But that was when we only had 4 channels. 2, 5, 7, 9, and 32. But 32, I think, didn't it go off early? Anyway. Yeah, Riis. So dang, I forgot what I was even talking about on that.
The fighter pilot.
Oh, yeah, man. So I had dinner with a fighter pilot and a group of funeral directors, Riis. Okay, can I tell you what's not a good idea? To have dinner with funeral directors. If you are not prepared, because, it's the industry to them. I learned a lot about what happens when you die. You know how you be saying you die? It ain't that simple, bro. It ain't that simple. I was like, they was like, when you unzip, what happened when you unzip the bag and it's, oh, God, Riis, it was like, okay. Did you know they put your face back together with clay? Like, bro, I yesterday learned hey, man, in dinner with the funeral directors, there's some funny guys, man. I kind of morbid humor, but it was like, Riis, I had dinner with like a F-16 fighter pilot and funeral directors last night. Let me just tell you, if you ever get invited to dinner with funeral directors, and then they want to have spaghetti, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, dog. But I will tell you, I learned a tremendous amount. And Riis, can I tell you the one thing that stood out to me yesterday the most was, and that we were talking notes about the industry, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this, so I'm gonna chill out. But they were saying the difference between black funerals and white funerals is like white people, when the person dies, they like 3 days max. Like they like, okay, you come pick them up, and 2 to 3 days later, they are at the funeral and then they're in the ground. They said for black families, sometimes it's up to 10 days. And did you know what that problem is with the 10 days? Well, first of all, you know why it's 10 days. I was sitting there kind of like, I'm going to be quiet here. You know what I'm saying?
Now they got to invite everybody. They need to make sure that everything is straight.
And they got the GoFundMe.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean.
So look, they was like, what you have to do to keep the body presentable for 10 days compared to 3 days. Boy, oh boy. Let me just say one more time. If you ever get invited to dinner with funeral directors, Lordy be, just eat before. But I learned so much, and there's so much that, I want to talk about this. Riis, how important do you think a funeral is to people? Like, and is it losing its importance? Do you need a funeral? I'm just curious about that. And I don't know if it's a topic today, but maybe I will make it a topic today, because Riis, like, I don't particularly like to go to funerals. But yesterday, talking to funeral directors, I didn't realize all the therapy that happens through the funeral process. Like the closure, you know what I'm saying, giving the people the opportunity to, that was one of the, so, after I got over it was just very interesting. Riis, they were saying, like, and now the young people say, man, I don't really want a funeral, find the cheapest option and just toss me. But did you also know, Riis, that cremation is now, like, they say, you know how it used to be a time when people did not get cremated? Black folks be like, oh, no. They're like, now almost 70% of all of the people, the country will, in about 10 years, 70% of every funeral will be cremation. Check this out. Riis, did you know after a cremation, there are actually 4 pounds of ashes that a family gets, like a bag like this big? Where do those ashes go? Besides the urn. Did you know that they say a lot of like, where do you think, Riis?
You could do a lot of things with that. I know somebody that actually used one and, like, a pressure made it like a diamond. I know my
But they didn't need the whole 4 pound bag.
No.
What they do with the rest?
Well, you can actually, at some places, design it to be like in a little chain or something.
Yeah, they have jewelry.
Yeah.
You can put it in but
yeah, my uncle had his like that.
But Riis, even when you make those things, check it out. It's still 4 pounds of ashes. Like, it's like a big old bag. They say that a lot of times. Did you see? I don't know if you saw the story about the guy that got pulled over by the police and they arrested him. They thought it was drugs in the car, and it was his ashes. It was ashes of his grandfather.
I hope they ain't pull him out that day.
Oh, dang, that would have been crazy. But can I ask a question? How many times do you think you ate some ashes of somebody? Because they was like,
what type of
Riis? Well, I'm asking this because with a 4 pounds of ashes, Do you know that they don't know when they hand you that bag, they don't know what happens to it? If you don't put it in an urn and you don't do whatever after your cremation, they hand you a 4-pound bag of ashes. Where does that bag of ashes go if you don't put it in a? Think about how many times you've been to a Cubs game and somebody has dumped their ashes and you ain't even know it. Now imagine 70% of the world is now doing that. How many times have you drank ashes out the lake? Man, remember Tupac boys said they smoked them. My point is, we don't even, as the world starts to move into the conversations that you was listening to, and you know what brought it into real perspective? COVID and what happened in China. Did you hear about that in China when they would just call you up, like your family would go to the hospital and they'd call you up and say, you never see them again. And they call you up and say, meet us at this place and they'll hand you a bag of ashes. And that was your family? Riis, there's so much going on out there. It's a lot we got to talk about. Hey, anyway, this is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. Yes, I had dinner last night with funeral directors and a fighter pilot. I'm going to tell you about my fighter. I told you a little bit about that conversation, but I'm going to tell you about my fighter pilot conversation a little bit later. Plus, I want to know who got the juice, Riis. Yesterday I was going to talk about this, but I didn't. Also, did you see Clarence Avant, Black Godfather? His wife was killed in a home invasion in Beverly Hills, Hollywood. I didn't even know they had home invasions in Hollywood, in Beverly Hills.
They have home invasions everywhere, man.
I heard that, Riis. Everybody could get it. I actually was seeing this thing. Now I'm kind of a little spooked. They were showing how people, like celebrities, are now getting followed home. People follow them home, follow them right up in their driveway, and then be like, low all that. Let me get all that. Man, did you see the video of the people in L.A.? They was sitting at the dinner table, and dude and them walked up to their table on the low and just was like, let me get the watch, and walked through the restaurant and robbed them and walked out. Craziest. Hey, man, people getting bold. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Look, I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. We'll be back after these messages. It is the Mace Jackson Show right here on WBGX 1570 AM. We'll talk to y'all when we come back.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
WIIFTBPM.
Church Chicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Key, TD, a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
I wish I had one witness in the house.
You got one. Got a couple of them. Got two T's.
Give me a testimony.
Oh, Lord. He's did it before. Oh, Lord. I got one. Better. I got 5 reasons. 5 reasons. Oh, Lord. He turned it around. Turn it around. He woke me up this morning. Oh. Don't do this. Don't do this. Number 4? He woke me up this morning. Come on, number 3. Come. He woke me up. Oh, Lord.
He woke you up.
That thing can touch you. One of them 5s will get you. What's the second one? He woke me up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, my God.
And the number 1 reason. Number 1. Final answer. He woke me up this morning.
He woke me up this morning.
That's a testimony.
That's a testimony.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:36 a.m. I'm Riis the ruler with your Chicagoland area's traffic and weather report. And traffic on the Kennedy O'Hare to the Loop is now 28 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare, just 18. On the Edens from Deerfield to the Exchange, 38 minutes. Exchange back out to Deerfield will be 27. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 36 minutes. Back out to Thorndale will be 30. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 30 minutes. Back out will be 37. On the Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 32 minutes. Back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 16 minutes to the Loop, 13 minutes. Back out to 95th. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive South, 55th to Jacksonville. Jackson back out to 55th will be 7 minutes and 8 minutes north. Randolph to Bryn Mawr and Bryn Mawr back to Randolph. Today's weather is currently 50 and cloudy. Today will be a high of 54 In the low of 37, I'm Reis the Ruler, and let's let it snow here in the Maze Jackson Show.
It's another Christmas holiday. It's a joyous thing, let the angels sing, 'cause we're together. We gotta think it, can't let it slip away. Though outside it's rain and sleet, when our bodies meet, I don't care about the weather. Let it snow, let it snow. Outside it's cold, but the fire's blazing, so baby, let it snow. Let it snow. Come over here and help me trim the tree. I wanna wrap you up, baby, then you'll see you're the only present I need. There's so much more waiting for you in store. From this precious day, I can't gladly say there's no place that I'd rather be. And oh, you are my everything. Come a little closer. God must have sent you down from heaven. Let it snow. Let it snow. Outside it's cold, but the fire's blazing, so baby, let it snow. Let it snow, baby. Let it snow.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Reis the Ruler. Uh-oh, he in the catalog, y'all. I can't even remember the little young lady's name who sang that. But she did a good job, bro. She did a really good job. Don't forget, December 21st, it is the What's in It for the Black People Christmas special. Executive produced, Maze Jackson, Maurice Fitzgerald from the Mo Fitz Project. More details coming up. Live Christmas special. Riis, then don't forget we got December 18th and 19th, What's in It for the Black People Concealed Carry class at TP. Register. Nabbit, I keep forgetting to put the Eventbrite up. Okay, I'll put the Eventbrite up. Y'all, look, I need 20 people in the class. I need 20 people come. Everything will be done on site. And once you're done, we got to go to the range. So on the 18th, we do our class. Working on the 19th, we at the range. Booga, 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 booga. Oh, I'm for real. Or I'm going to be like, frat, frat, frat.
This is not the movies, man.
I know, that's the whole point. I want to be like, you see that? Go ahead. Make my day.
Yeah.
Man, you remember Clint Eastwood, boy? Clint Eastwood used to put it on you. You lying dirty. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Hey, let me run through some of these headlines real quick. Hey, Riis, how about this one, dog? The Fighting Irish got a black coach. The green team got a black coach, dog. Shout out to Brian Kelly for bouncing out to LSU, where I think he is going to get his butt handed to him because, boy, them SEC conference, it's a tough road to hold down there, man.
Been doing good with Northern Dame, though, so I believe, that he should fare well there. But it's just LSU, like you said, that SEC is,
hey,
especially when you got the best team ever play in college football in the SEC. You know.
Yes, man. I ain't gonna front on. It's like I'm wondering when theirs is gonna. You know how? Remember? You know, like teams used to have runs. This is just ridiculous. Yeah. It's almost like they need to just tell like Nick Saban quit.
It's kind of like how the girls from Connecticut was.
Oh yeah.
You just like you could just put your money down and there.
National check, man. You know what? And it was like, did you watch the Auburn game? I just watched the end of it, right? And when you watching the end of it, now Auburn was like, you just knew. Like, if they got to overtime, right? I was just like, it's like, I feel like when you watch the Alabama team, bro, even though I cannot wait till Saturday, because this Alabama, I really do want Georgia to win.
Yeah,
I do.
Good luck.
Hey, man, you know, Georgia be right there every year and be like, damn.
Championship game, they blow up, but man, I'm glad for him, man. I think he'll do good there, man. He been doing real good at Notre Dame, and to be in a...
Well, you know the Irish. The Irish, though, you know, they get drunk, man. Them boy, you know, when they turn into the Fighting Irish, right? When they turn into the Fighting Irish, I be nervous because it's like, I told you, it's like but I was in Beverly. And, you know, it's like they all start out like lace curtain. But, boy, when they start drinking, they get shanty. And when they get shanty, you might find a filth flying in somewhere in there. If he see, my problem is, Riis, is that if he starts to lose anything. Like, white folks love you until you start losing and then they be in the stands a little tipsy. I told you, man. Banana at Wrigley Field. Never forgave him. Never, ever forgave him. Never. So that's why I'm always nervous for black coaches at white schools, like the black coach when he was at Texas, right? Like,
yeah, Texas A&M.
No, Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Remember when the brother went to Texas? And it was like, man, you got this big program. Now, Texas been whacked for a long time. They ain't been straight since Vince Young. But the brother get the job and they want to run him out. They get everybody else 10 times. It's all right. Let me stop. I'm going to quit. So I'm just nervous about a black man at Notre Dame. Just telling you know what happens. The touchdown Jesus. Man. Abortion limits may be very soon coming. Apparently, the Supreme Court is prepared to overturn the Roe part of Roe versus Wade. Interesting. I think it's going to evolve into a states' rights. But I do want to point out to all of the women that I know that refuse to listen to me when they be talking smack, y'all better watch Handmaid's Tale. I'm going to tell y'all one more time. Jussie. Okay, Riis, I got to ask you. So, Riis, Jussie is still holding on to the lie. But yesterday, one of the Osundario brothers, first of all, I'm so glad they found this brother a shirt. Because I was so tired of seeing him and his brother shirtless on the front. Like, they was like, live from the jungles of Africa, the Osundario brothers. And you know the Africans be the freshest dressed. Because they be straight. Africans be dressing European. They be having on the tight clothes. And he came in the court just like African boy. Had on his black turtleneck with his link, his herringbone. Had his fresh cut. Said he was like my brother. He took me under his wing. When we were on the set of Empire, I felt obligated. I got him drugs. I thought he could help me with my project one day. Help me become a great actor. So he said, I need you to fake beat me up. Now, Riis, he on the stand testifying. He looking at you. He like, Your Honor, he asked me to do it. I got the text. That was my text. He called me. We rehearsed it. It was on camera. Riis, you Jussie Smollett. You still holding on to the lie. They like, all right, you know your mama be like, all right, I'm going to give you another chance to tell me the truth. Those Sundario brothers on the stand. They got 2 of them coming. Went to the crib, told the whole story. They told him how he gave him the money to go buy the rope. Coincided exactly with the video. Reed. Your public defender look over at you. He say, hey, man, you heard that, right?
Put me on the stand.
Riis, they got you dead to left, man. He got eyewitnesses.
They got me.
Riis, Riis. We got you. Like, I was at the meeting with you, Riis. I was at the meeting when you told me this, Riis. You told me this. I'm telling you, everything in the video, we got the phone records, we got the logs. I even narrated the video practice rehearsal. Riis, you still rolling with the lie?
Your Honor, as I've spoken with you yesterday about this affair, that I told you I don't really have my own cell phone half the time. I also told you that assistant that do have my phone, I also fired that assistant. And ironically, they were friends with the Smollett brothers, and the Smollett brothers offered to do, as you can see, his project. I rejected to do his project because at the time I was so highly elevated in Empire. I was really trying to focus on my growth. I guess he felt offended or whatnot. Of course, he would know everything that went down, Your Honor. He did it to me. Why wouldn't he know exactly how he beat me up? You know, he's telling you exactly how he harmed me. So, you know, once again, Your Honor, I did not do it. Bam, I'm telling you.
I saw you on the videotape, sir. Sir, we got the video, we got the phone records, we have eyewitness testimony, sir. Are you still denying, Riis? You wrote, look, we got, it's Thursday, you got one more day.
Well, Your Honor, I hope that those people understand, that those eyewitnesses that's on this thing testifying understand that it is a crime to lie on the stand, Your Honor. It's a crime. It's a crime, and I feel very sorry for those people lying on the stand, Your Honor.
Till the wheels fall off, right, Riis? Till the wheels fall off? Like, Riis, now let me just say, closing arguments coming tomorrow. Now, if you admit the lie, dog, we're going to make you do 200 push-ups. You have to pay us you're going to have to pay us $500,000. You're going to go about your business. If we catch you lying, Riis, you're doing 3 years. Just for lying. Just for standing up. Riis, I want to give you an opportunity to walk away right now. $300,000 fine.
And then I got to admit to it.
Yeah.
Nah. But what we can do is we can agree. We can come to the agreement. If you feel like I'm faulty, then you can send my lawyer, like, you know what? Since he ain't going to come off of it, just, we'll settle for that. But that don't mean that I did it or didn't do it. I just, in the court, we just agreed to just.
So you want a no fault, right? You just gonna be like, okay, this is DJ Riis the Roulette. Just okay. Now tomorrow, y'all closing arguments. We're gonna be in closing arguments, and before we bang the gavel, we're gonna give Riis one more chance. Cause tomorrow they're gonna be like, your mom is testifying. They're gonna fly his mom in from Africa, and they're gonna be like, so they're gonna fly Jussie mama in. Be like, Jussie, Jussie's always had these problems. He's always felt underneath his daughter, underneath his sister. And so I think they're going to bring the mom in tomorrow. We'll see if Riis holds out even tomorrow, because it's almost time for closing arguments. And then we'll find out when Riis, your fate is determined by what happens to Jussie. All right? So let me just ask, I'm just going to tell you, you got till closing arguments to tap out. Let's see, all the evidence. Pay attention. We're going to find out. Look, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show.
He just got to stick to it. Told you, man. Your Honor, I'm in here living in America. My mom's in Africa. She's upset because, we won't pay for her to come over to these lands. Of course she'll say anything, Your Honor, just to get here. Imagine what did they have to offer her, Your Honor, to come to the States and testify this. Just really think about that. Like, what did they have to offer her? Hey, man, I get you your green card, come over here. It's kind of hard to really trust you, man. People change on you every day, I'm trying to tell you, if your own mama testify against you, come on, man.
That mean you dirty. Then that is reaffirming why we are giving you an opportunity to get up out of here. All right, y'all, we gonna keep on. We gonna give Riis another chance tomorrow to get on up out, just to admit the fault, walk away. You gotta admit your fault, but we'll let you off.
She was also disappointed about the way that I came out the closet on Empire. She felt
damn.
like that.
You played the gay card. Oh, now you. Oh, he done. Riis. All right, Riis is going. All right, look. He done. You know when you catch somebody in the line and they turn it around on you.
Got the jokers in here.
Oh, he just pulled out the.
When you play the Ace of Spades, they put a joke on that.
Oh, dang. Yes. Not the LGBT line on me card. I came. Oh, you might get away with that one.
Good.
That one might be enough. Oh, Jesus. It's the Maze Jackson Show. All right, let me get some more of these headlines. Park District, did you see the Park District supervisor? First of all, I want to point out that this lifeguard scandal was amongst the whites and the Latinos. This was not a black thing. Because, you know, if you mess with somebody's black daughter, they're going to slap them. They daddy is coming up there. I got to... They daddy coming up there. But they also approved their $500 million budget, and they also created a new $600,000 sex abuse prevention office. $600,000 to prevent sex abuse office. That's a big step, Riis. That's a lot of money. I wonder how many people in that department. 3 people, 200,000. Well, they got to get some staff. They got to get office. That's interesting. We need something like that for racism. Can we get that? Dang. Did you see a couple police officers shot yesterday in a traffic stop? That was on the news when I got home. And then finally, did you see Simone? You know Simone Sanders? Y'all remember Simone Sanders? Remember she was the black woman who was Bernie Sanders' spokesperson the first time Bernie ran, and everybody was loving her. And then when Bernie got on with Joe Biden, then she went to go work for. She was like the communications director for the campaign. You know, usually when you're the communications director for the campaign, you get to move over. They was like, "No, you got to go work for Kamala." She didn't get to stay with the president, so she had to go work with Kamala, and now she is quitting. Why is all the black women quitting from Kamala? Okay. Y'all ain't chucking and pearling no more?
I mean, I thought she just said that she Jamaican anyway, right? Ain't Kamala said she Jamaican?
No. She said she is
Indonesia.
She Cable Asian like Tiger. She Cable Asian, right? Like she Riis.
Don't let no scandal come like Kamala. Then you try to come though. You know how we look at you like, now you want us now, huh?
Right. But you know she was Kamala is celebrating Hanukkah right now with her husband. Riis.
Look how you looking, man. Like,
okay, Kamala. I'm just telling you, y'all, and y'all know. I ain't gonna say nothing. That reminds. I had a Black Greek joke. I was gonna be like, that was. I'm gonna stop. All right, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Come on, man, DJ Riis, the ruler. I must not supposed to do this question because I keep talking through it, but we're gonna do it anyway. Riis, give me the big voice. Oh, but before you give me the big voice, let's get the plane up because I don't think we took the soul plane off. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. We are about to get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. Let's get this bad boy up, and away. And then, Riis, I'm going to have you double back because I need you to get the big voice ready for me. And if you got it, go ahead and hit it.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Who are the black players on the field in Chicago? Who are the black players on the field in Chicago? Riis, I'll be honest, I don't very often go back and listen to the shows that we do. I feel like if I go back and listen to the shows that we do, sometimes I'll go backwards instead of forwards, or I'll be trying to go. So it's like I do a show, You know how you all are always kind of talking, not you all, but people are always talking about the replays and all of that stuff. I really don't focus on that. I focus on producing the content for the day, and then because it's a daily show, right? And I feel like it's going to be another chance tomorrow, etc. So I feel like the conversation we had yesterday with Bishop Larry Trotter and Corey Brooks was necessary. I thought it was good that we had it because we were able to hear contrasting viewpoints about a topic. And I felt like instead of the topic being discussed by other folks about what to do about those folks, it was us folks talking about us. And whether they agreed or disagreed, I thought it was important. I also listened, I just remember hearing Bishop Trotter tell us that at one point he had 10,000 members. Think about that, Riis. 10,000 members to go to one church in before the mega church era. And now he doesn't. I think he was less than 3. Remember, he was like, I got 5 services a day. There was a time in Black Chicago when black folks used to convene. Riis, you know where we play basketball at? That YMCA used to be the place where black men got together, worked out, played sports, but they also talked. They also hung out. They swum, but it was the place where they gathered. There was places like Army and Lou's. There was places, Captain Hard Times, Catfish Digby's, Wallace's Catfish, right? Where the issues of the day of the black community could be discussed. Not necessarily everybody agreed with, but there was a convening of minds and there was a regular space together. Riis, in the Irish community, they have this thing called the Irish Fellowship. Right? And the Irish Fellowship, from my understanding, because I've never been invited, is the time of the year when the entire power dynamic of the Irish community comes together and they're all in the same room. Love, hate, people that they cool with, people that they not cool with, they all got a table and they all in the room. And I think one of the things that we don't often understand is that they all don't get along, but they have recognized that if they're not going to get along, they're not going to do it in public. But at this Irish Fellowship, and I've seen it in the Italian community, shout out to, I can't say shout out to who because I might get in trouble for that, but shout out to my good friend who invited me 2 years ago. And Riis, when you went into this room, it was like a movie. All the Italian people were at this breakfast, right? Whether you were in auto repair, whether you were in whatever you did, they were all there. And at that place, they could make a decision. And like what you would see is that all the politicians would come through there. And if they came through there, they knew that they had the business, if you could get, and it's the same thing at this Irish Fellowship. And I was thinking, Riis, how do black people convene? Like I go to a lot of these things where you see, like we have these associations and they represent different industries, But I don't know that we have a place or a time where black people of all, regardless of what clique, crew, or whatever you come from, can convene, discuss, debate, and settle issues. And I was just wondering, Riis, because back in the day, there's been a variety of places. Oftentimes, those places that convened, though, were not convened at the behest of black people. They were convened to take advantage of opportunities that white folks provided. Does that make sense? And so when we come back, what I want to do is I want to talk about who are the black players on the field. I was thinking about it because this Clarence Avant story of, well, I don't want to talk about that, but I think about it from the standpoint of who are actually the black players on the field now that could affect collective black change. Let's talk about it some more when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBPM.
If you're a business professional, have you ever wanted to multitask on your way to an important meeting instead of navigating through traffic? Fellowship Fleet Limousine and Bus Company is your solution for chauffeured ground transportation. Our company provides sedans, SUVs, stretch limousines, vans, and buses for corporate travel, airport transfers, and group shuttles. If you're a corporate travel manager, individual business professional, event or meeting planner, relax. Let us take the wheel. Visit fellowshipfleet.com to book right now.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 7:05 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your traffic and weather report. And traffic on the Kennedy O'Hare to the Loop will be 34 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 27. On the Edens inbound from Deerfield to Exchange is up to 41 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 34. On the Eisenhower Thorndale to the Loop, 47 minutes. Back out to Thorndale, 37 minutes. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 43 minutes, outbound 33. On the Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan will be 38 minutes, 31 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 17 minutes to the Loop, 14 minutes back out to 95th. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive South, 55th to Jacksonville to Jackson to 55th is 7 minutes, 8 minutes north Randolph to Bryn Mawr and Bryn Mawr back to Randolph. Today's weather is currently 50 and cloudy. Today will be high of 54 with a low of 37. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now he is all right here on the Maze Jackson Show.
I've never been lucky at love, no never. I've never been good at holding on. A heart broken so many pieces, but I'll just keep on moving on because I'll never give up on love, no never, no never. And I'll never give up on trust, whatever come what may. All that I wanna say, that true love's gonna come my way. Alright, I'm looking for a lover for me. Could you be the one for me? Yeah, alright, just looking for forever for me. For me. See, I never ever thought that I could love again. I never ever thought that I could ever win. But don't ever give up, no, and don't ever give in. See, I pray that true love find me in the end. I'll never give up on love. I will never. And I'll never give up on trust. I will never. Looking for a lover for me. See, I'm looking for a lover for me, yeah. And it's alright. For forever. I'm looking for forever. For me. Every night. Hey, make love to her right. Oh, find her that she's the only one. She's the only one. I'm gonna treat her like mine. See, I'm gonna give her everything. Whatever she wants. Plus a 10-carat diamond ring. Baby. Alright. Woo. I'm looking for a lover for me. Looking for a lover. Could it be you? And it's baby, it's alright. Looking for forever for me. I'm looking for forever for me. Hey, looking for a lover for me. I'm looking, still looking. And it's alright. Looking for forever for forever. For me.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to life, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis, and Ruthie and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve wrong. Look in the mirror, realize you great. Yeah, we always argue with our brothers, but ain't nobody gonna take our place. Just stay in tune and stay on top about who forward, about who not. Just green light all the black economy, then watch all the shooting don't stop. To my black people in power, just remember we put you in power. If you really wanna save all the black princesses, be Mario and not Bowser. They gave us a hard job. We gon' make it if we do it together. Divided we fall, we gotta evolve. With confidence, you are ready before you started. With no confidence in the people, we always gon' be defeated.
What's in it for me? What's in it for you? Who's telling the lies to
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis, the ruler, in the building. I am kicking it at 7 o'clock, man. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. You know what I forgot I meant to do at the beginning of the show, and then I get to talking to myself, because I talk to myself, because there is no one to talk to. Remember that song? People ask me why I do what I do, and it was like, you stole my prerogative. Christopher Williams, light-skinned people always trying to hijack the dark-skinned people work. Sorry, though, Bobby Brown, King of R&B. I'm just playing. Shout out to Constance Foster. You know, Constance Foster is the official What's in it for the Black People Lions Den greeter. Riis, do you know that I feel like every time somebody says hello or they say good morning, Constance is there to welcome them? Like, what committee do they call that in church? That's the friends and I don't know what committee. Huh?
Sound like the
usher board. She the mother. Oh yeah, so she could be the mother of the usher board. Cause Harlette is the head of the motherboard. Constance is the head of the usher board. I bet we could put Constance on collection. She could be like, welcome. What pew you gonna sit on? We're gonna charge by the pew. But it is the Maze Jackson Show. Riis, I was just thinking about this. And actually, can I tell you something else? It is not just the Irish. Who did I say? The Irish and the who else did I say did this? Anyway, now that I'm thinking about it, almost every group does it. Right? Like the Arab Americans, the Chinese, the Asians, the Koreans, the Jewish. There is, and can I tell you, it's funny, Devin, I was looking at your comment where you say we can't invite everybody, and I know it's like it's exclusive, but I think the whole point of it is to get everybody in the room and let them raise their flag. You ain't got to like us. You ain't got to like nobody in the room. You come and you represent at your table. But I think over time you start to look around and you see like, Joe, we got an army here. Like over there is the people that you seen or you saw them on social media and you've been talking smack or you've been saying whatever. But even on that day, everybody waves their flag, but it's under the united banner of our collectivism. So let me give you an example. At What's in it for the Black People, our members are members of other organizations. Tamiko is in Black Contractors United. Every year, Black Contractors United has an event for all of the people that do business with Black Contractors United. And it is an opportunity for Black Contractors United to display their power to the white developers, etc. Okay? Could you imagine, though, if we took that same concept and put every Black organization, whether you like them or not, from the accountants, from what's the National Association of Accountants, Black Accountants, from the Beasley, the Black Entertainment Sports Lawyers, from all of them, from WIFTABA, from ECCSC, from Activists. I don't care what group you are on this day. If you don't want to mingle, you can stay at your table. But if you decide to mingle, if you decide to crisscross, and we convene ourselves quarterly, even, just once a quarter, it's breakfast. Everybody has a table. Your crew got a table. So if y'all just want to flex at y'all table and don't want to talk to nobody and be antisocial, but on this day, you know that we're all, it ain't. See, what I have come to recognize is that at 50, we ain't going to get in the room and people ain't going to be fighting. Now, there are people that probably will, and there may be people that'll sit across the room and glare and be like, I ain't messing with him, never, I don't care, whatever it is. But in that room, It is the convening of all the armies. Do y'all ever watch Game of Thrones? Riis, did you watch Game of Thrones?
Did I? What you mean? That was the.
See, you didn't really watch Riis.
No,
Riis, you wasn't in Game of Thrones. Riis,
really watched it.
You wasn't there.
They should have did it after she killed the
You ain't ready, Riis.
The White Walker. Then they did the Bender broken.
They coming back now. So next year I think it comes out again, the prequel. But here's my point. Remember when the White Walkers were coming and all of the 7 kingdoms was like at a certain point like, hey Joe, like I'm the king of the North. All of the people recognized that there was a collective enemy. That look, once this thing is over, we can all go back and fight each other and whoop tail, but we got a bigger enemy. And all I'm just asking is, can we put who? And I would say everybody. But Riis, who is okay? I think I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble, but I want to talk about it from a real reality perspective. Oh, and we should get my brother Charles Smith to call in. Hey, Tori, I know you're tuned in. Probably. Maybe we can get Charles Smith to call in or something, or somebody from the BLC to come in. Riis, Ford, in the political world and in the business world, the Business Leadership Council is the official voice of black folks to corporate America and to governors and to mayors and to the city. I would say that, quite frankly, most of the political decisions that happen in the black community are vetted through that group, right? If JB is going to do something, if the mayor is going to do something and they want to get black support, they generally green light it through the Business Leadership Council. There was a time when the Business Leadership Council members lorded over the black community. I would say that as the organization has gotten younger and the leadership has been assumed by our peers, I feel like they got to start checking in. Does that make sense? So if you get to make all the decisions, or if every time the mayor or the governor or whatever is vetting something, we got to ask, they got to be accountable to something, right? Because they get to operate independent and then kind of anonymously. And in the past, maybe that worked, but as we're reconfiguring our community, I think they got to check in. Now, I don't know to who, but I don't know that that group gets to operate independent of the black community. Do y'all remember me talking about the fact that oftentimes our leaders were picked for us, and then their job was to tell us what the white folks wanted? I think we have to bring those people into the fold. Does that make sense? I think, and I don't mean it in an oppositional manner. I am suggesting that as the leadership transitions to our peers, they have to start operating as our peers, not as our lords. Now, some of y'all be like, that ain't my lord. But I would tell you that you probably don't see it per se. because we don't know what happens. And that's part of my whole reason of saying we need to convene. Like at this meeting or at this annual or quarterly breakfast in which we can all see ourselves in our glory, I think the Black McDonald Operators Association should be there. Right? That's probably one of the largest, wealthiest network of black businessmen in Chicago. I think Black Contractors United, just like ACA, should be there. I think ECCSC should be there. I think that Activists should be there. I think that Boys from the Hood, I think our nonprofit organizations should all be there. I think that there should be no big I's and little U's at this convening. Think about this for a second. And I want you to wrap your mind around the fact that you can't even imagine it. But could you imagine a room, Riis, at a ballroom or at a place that we had where every black organization had a table and brought they 10 or 20 or however many people, and we were able to stand up and look and see how. Do you remember? Warriors, come out and play.
Yes,
remember when Cyrus brought everybody to the park and said, look around you. We touch every single neighborhood. Now, I'm telling you this in a reason because, see, the tides are a gathering. In this ward remap battle, we are, let me back up. The deadline, that was an artificial deadline. They have until 46 days before the actual election to cut a deal on the map. But Riis, in the event that the remap goes to a referendum, you know what a referendum means? It means that we have to vote on it as individuals. It means that there will be a campaign over who will have the power. Can I tell you honestly? I think if you put the black community up against the Latino community in an election, and I'm talking about the map, I think we win. I think when you look at the vast array of black folks that have been operating in silos and disconnected across the city, county, and state. If you bring every NAACP chapter, every Urban League chapter, every Black Greek letter organization, every street organization that still exists that has some level of hierarchy, if you brought our black politicians all in the room and everybody got to, you brought your preachers and your churches and your publicists and your associations into one room and looked around and saw black people in all of their black power and glory. So you got the people in the suits that you've been talking smack to. But imagine that those guys that have weaved in and out of our community with no level of accountability, with nobody ever being able to say, hey, Hus, how you working with XYZ ABC? What you bringing back? Or, cuz, what do you need from us? See, and I think that the snakes will rise. There will be people that will. But if we operate in purity, and I'm just saying, in this room, once a quarter, black folks get together and say, look, yo, our commitment to each other is to battle out in this room. Right? And if I ain't gonna be the person outside banging you in the head. Because, guys, what I'm telling you is that do you realize that the Arab community convenes to talk about their issues, and they invite right now during this political season, let me tell you how we operating, and let me show you how other communities are operating. Other communities are operating where they are convening their whole entire business, political, everybody community. They have a giant banquet, 2,000, 3,000 of them all in one room, and they make the politician walk through that room. And by the time that elected official walks through that room, they recognize the collective power. And then they say, we got to deal with this group who has an agenda. For us, we do these little one-off things, and everybody get to have their little forum. And so you get $2 over here, and instead of us saying, all right, y'all, there is a Secretary of State's race. How much? Every one of y'all can have y'all own little meeting, and that'll be cool, and everybody get $50. But imagine coming to the secretary, you're running for Secretary of State, and you got to come in the room, and all the black people that got an organization are in that room. And it's televised, and we making our whole community look. See, there is no fear of us collectively. And I was thinking about, how do we get? You saw what happened yesterday with Bishop Trotter and Bishop and Corey Brooks, right? Two people telling the same story about the same neighborhood, and they both know each other, and they didn't call each other. And so they both used our platform to bang each other. They said, you know how Riis, when you be like, I'm not, and I say I'm not tripping, but I be tripping. Right? It's like, there's no forum for that. Like, and quite frankly, there's a white guy in the middle of it, probably on both sides. But imagine that I enjoyed the conversation yesterday. But that was one of them conversations where I wish I could have said blacks only. And then we could have really got into the conversation. Right? And we could have been like, okay, who are the black decision makers at the table at these companies? And family, if you gonna stand up here and cape for this company, here's what we gotta see from you. Ain't nobody hating on you for getting but this is what we got to see. We talk about there being no codes of conduct, but there's no place to even convene. There is no black Congress. Do we have a black Congress of Chicago? They did this a while back in Gary, where there was a national Congress, but like a black Congress of Chicago. Could you imagine Chicago's black Congress or the black Congress of Illinois? Why you looking like that, Riis? Uh-oh. You about to tell me about myself because you don't tell me about
Nah. It sound, man. You know what, man? I'm always, I think it'll sound good. I just hope, just as long as we do it for the right reasons, man. I feel like sometimes we have good intentions, man. But just as long as we keep it on the straight and narrow, then I think we should have that. What better place than have it than Chicago?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. And when I say a black Congress, when I say a black Congress, Riis, what I'm talking about is black representation. Like where there's a place where we can come to a consensus. Like, say the first meeting is a big one. And then everybody got if you from out west, you from whatever we decide these places are, and there's a convening and the issues and there's an agenda. Right? And if there's beef, if there's something and the Congress is democratic in that it is the convener of all things, all the black people, where no one person he can convene it, but he can't run it. Because it's a democracy. I'm watching people demonstrate power plays. And I just think we have the catalyst right here to identify, connect, and collect. And just have, again, the first one ain't got to be like, can you sit in a room with everybody and just talk? Can we eat? I promise, I'm sure we can find somebody black to fry some chicken. Give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. A black Congress, right? I mean, because I think about, when you think about it, all of the black people that are in Chicago that are active are probably part of something, right? You look at the Ascension. I give you again, Black Contractors United. The people in the streets are now running the organization. How does that connect? You know, I noticed that there are certain construction companies that are now starting to grow quickly. As decided by who? White people or black people? Do we have a rotation? Do we have a orderly process that says, okay, next up? Or here are the rules of engagement in business. Look, y'all, let's talk about it. Give me a call, 87. Or is it impossible? Is it impossible to get black folks in a room in Chicago? Is the hate still there so much that we can't move together for our own collective? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIFTBPM.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
If you're a business professional, have you ever wanted to multitask on your way to an important meeting instead of navigating through traffic? Fellowship Fleet Limousine and Bus Company is your solution for chauffeured ground transportation. Our company provides sedans, SUVs, stretch limousines, vans, and buses for corporate travel, airport transfers, and group shuttles. If you're a corporate travel manager, individual business professional, event or meeting planner, relax. Let us take the wheel. Visit fellowshipfleet.com to book right now.
What about my love? Seems you have forgotten love. I do believe that something went wrong somewhere. What about my feelings? Do they mean anything at all? You got me so in love, I'm too blind to see. And that you got my love, now you wanna put me down. And that you got my love, got me standing on shaky ground. What about it, baby? What about the days and the nights we spent? What about the love we made so sweet? Are you sure you wanna live? Think it over, baby. 'Cause girl, I believe. I think you just might wanna change your mind. And Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Really wish you would change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Now that you got my love, you don't come around. Now that you got all my love, yeah, you got me standing on shaky ground. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Oh my, I had a conversation with her. This is how it went. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Oh, Lord have mercy. 'Cause I need you and you need me. I know we can be happy. Just wait and see. Baby, won't you change your mind? I'll do better if you change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, got me standing on shaky. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Baby, won't you change your mind? Baby, won't you change your mind? Oh no, I've been hoping, baby. I've been praying, baby. Yes, I have. Baby, won't you change your mind? Oh no. I've been hoping.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I was staring y'all down. I was like, dang, is he frozen? Did y'all think I was froze? I don't know what they thought. I was staring y'all down, though. Like, all right, don't play me. You know what? That's how the Jacksons do when we come in the room and we got an attitude. It just be like this. And then I'll look at Tennille. And she'll look. And then we'll make a force field of uncomfortableness in the universe. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Yo.
Yeah, I was different. I was that one like brother, cousin, nephew, the one that came in that was all
clowning.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We just fought like 2 minutes ago. Like,
no,
you still my cousin.
No. Nah, once you cross, it's you. I do a year. I do a year quick. I do a year like. I'll cut you off for a year without even thinking about it.
Man, you don't know so much can happen in that year.
I sure do. I'll be like, and if it happened within that window, Riis, I'll be like, dang, that's messed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So,
no, I'll be like this, though.
No, man, you can't say that, man.
Riis, let me tell you. You like, the Jackson level of mad.
It ain't be my family, man.
If you be like, okay, like, if you hear us say, okay, if you get okay from the Jacksons, just know you about to go on a year. It's going to be a year. Now, we might still be, but it will be a year. And then, I mean, because, me and Tennille, we had to have like a 24-hour rule. Like, if something happens, we have to literally take 24 hours before we discuss it. I remember Tennille used to call me up. She'll make me mad. I had to take 24 hours. Then we'll have to talk again because we have to get on the plane to go somewhere. So it'd just be too long to be on the plane not talking. But yeah, I could do some weeks. I could do weeks easy. A year? I could forget you in a year. Like, I have this uncanny ability to forget, like, everything. Like, be like on my hard drive, I could just be like, dude, who? Dude, what? They be like, I never knew you. Never knew you. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Riis, gotta ask you, though. Can you dig it? I'm seeing one of the first things I'm seeing is who's welcome, who's not welcome, who can come, who cannot. And I think that's where we start, because who gets to pick? Who gets to pick your level of blackness? Right? But I do believe that if you convene, people will make themselves known. Sometimes when you're in the kitchen and they cooking, you get the telltale hearts. You know about the telltale heart? Telltale heart is when your heart start, you hear your own heart beating because they telling the story and it's you like, oh my God, do you hear that? Does everybody hear it? No, it's your conscience talking to you. You be like, do you hear that? When we talking, we be like, the sellouts. And I'm not even calling nobody a sellout. But if you have not been working in the best interests of our black people and you start hearing your heart start, you be like, do you hear that, Riis? I don't hear it. That's your own heart telling you what you didn't do. And I think we should really, like, I think one of the things, the first things that one of the first things that we do oftentimes is figure out who can't come. And I think we should start with the fact that everybody should come. That over the course of time as you sit, who you are will be revealed. See, like, the thing is, you don't never got to see nobody. You can pull it and never have to see nobody. Stay in your little box. Get you some security around your joint. But if everybody got to come till you did, ain't no fights. We too old to be fighting. What you say, though? All right, well, here's the people here to moderate it. Go on, say it. What's your problem? Because if you got a problem, here's the place you can convene it, but it shouldn't leave here. We going into an election cycle and white folks trying to figure out how they can pick you off. Let me tell you why the Latinos are talking so smacky on this remap. Because they get together collectively. Remember when Chewy was standing up there with all them people? From all over, they was like, we about our business. Now, we can have beef amongst us, but you don't get to do it. Can that be done? And I think the thing we got to also pay attention to is trust. Like, who are the arbiters? Who are the people that black people trust enough to bring it together? Because I think sometimes we operate in silos and people don't say something. So let's talk about it. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. They scared of it. They don't want to touch it. All right, I'm going to move on. Let's talk about the remap. Riis, yesterday or 2 days ago, we thought that the deadline for the ward remap was yesterday at midnight. Well, apparently yesterday, the city council did not introduce a map. The only map that has been introduced has been the Latino caucus map. Now, I want to back up a little bit. Because I think right now what we're seeing is a little bit of disrespect. Riis, when Alderman Mel, when Ed Burke, and when was it Mel Burke and Pat O'Connor were in charge of the REMAP process, everybody accepted their rules and did it. They had the seniority. They were the oldest guys, and that's kind of how it worked. Riis, as black folks have ascended to power, the Latino caucus has demonstrated that they don't respect us in our roles of power. Now, here's what I don't want to do. Let me not say what I don't want to do. Alderman Michelle Harris is now the chairman of the Rules Committee. Okay? The Rules Committee is where the map came from. Alderman Dick Mell was the chairman of the Rules Committee. The Rules Committee map is not the Black Caucus map. It is the city of Chicago's map. Hear me out. When Dick Mell ran the city's rules department, the map that he provided was the city's map. When Michelle Harris, who is the chairman of this same committee that produces the city's map, comes out, she is now producing the black map, not the city's map. Does that make sense at all? Same job, same role, black woman gets it, and the Latino caucus has now decided that they're not going to respect her role in the spot. Additionally, the Black Caucus, which said that they were only going to concede one ward, the Latino Caucus has essentially forced the Black Caucus to give up 2 wards instead of 1 by refusing to acknowledge Michelle Harris's role as the chairman of the Rules Committee, which is a long-honored tradition among city council people. Let me also add to the dynamic, in case you did not hear, 34th Ward Alderman Carrie Austin is retiring. So those of you that live in the 34th Ward, you will no longer be 34th Ward residents, most likely. The 34th Ward will be a downtown ward in the West Loop, which, as I was looking at that, I was thinking, man, can I run there? I was thinking like, man, I'm not that far from the West Loop. But that ward, the 34th Ward, which has been forever one of the largest and most powerful black wards, is now being moved to downtown, to the West Loop, to accommodate the white growth. The 34th Ward is now gone. Now, what that also means is that the 34th Ward committeeman will no longer be elected from the South Side. He will be elected from downtown. So it's a really interesting perspective. Hey, Riis, and then if we wondered how the map would break down and who were the teams, check this out. The Black Caucus and the White Caucus are all in agreement on the map. But they can only get to 36 votes. They need 41 to be veto-proof. So even in the minority, and this is what I want y'all to understand about leverage. Even in the minority, the Latinos are playing the game of, we're going to use our numbers to stop. We can't get what we want, but if we don't get what we want, don't nobody get nothing. Now, in all reality, the aldermen do not want the maps to go to a referendum because it would mean that the constituents pick and it goes up to everybody. But can I tell you, remember that meeting I was just telling y'all about? I'll be honest with you. that I would love the opportunity to have a direct political showdown in this space. Because I still believe that the black voters turn out more than Latino voters. Does that make sense? So the Latinos right now are building their power off of the fact that we are a sanctuary city. So they are counting the undocumented immigrants in the completing of the ward. But Riis, what they also recognize is that if you put those undocumented immigrants into these wards to build the ward, that doesn't mean they can vote. So even if you create these wards that give Latinos majority, they still may not be able to hold on to them because black folks still dwarf them in the map and in the voting process. Pay attention to your city key card. So now you got to understand that the dynamic now is happening is that now the Latinos are using the race card and they are using the fact that they are a protected class. Dig this. They are using our rules, the rules that were created to protect blacks and Native Americans, against us to take our power. See why we need to have a convening of black folks? See, they've already talked. They're in unison. They have said, we'll stick together, even though we don't all agree, to block them from getting what they want. And the longer it stretches out, the more they got. Remember, we started and the Black Caucus said they would only give up. They only wanted 18. Now, I will tell you that they probably knew that they were going to have to give up one. But now, we are looking at 16 Latino awards at the expense of black folks, using the laws that were created for us. And let me just back this up. And I'm getting a little deep, so y'all tell me if I got to come back. Part of what happens when you are part of the Voting Rights Act and part of the reason you have to create supermajority as a protected class, you have to create areas that allow those constituents to be represented by someone of their own. So Latinos and black people are supposed to have are supposed to both be a protected class. One of the interesting dynamics of this race is that of what's happening is that you need to have over 55% of whatever so you need to have about a 50 or a majority black in a ward to make it a majority ward. What the Latinos are trying to do is pack their wards and make them 65% Latino to ensure a win. Because what happens is the Latinos may have the numbers, but they don't have the voters. And oftentimes Latinos don't vote for the Latino. They vote for the white guy because they can get more service. And so what they are trying to do is use the legislative process to protect the fact that they don't actually have the voters to protect what they have. So right now, you know how Ed Burke represents almost a majority Latino ward, but the Latinos can't beat him in his own ward. So what they did was they took the white precincts away from him. I know I'm getting a little technical here, but the problem I'm seeing is, guys, is that there is no collective force that the Latinos have to look across the bow and say, you're going to have to deal with us. So what if you were one of the black people that got stuck in a Latino war? We still have to be connected. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I got to say what's up to the WBGX audience. I want to thank you all for tuning in with us every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 a.m. Now, you can continue listening. Come tune in on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube, the Maze Jackson page. Riis, See, the convening, the Black Congress, whatever y'all want to call it, connects the Black community regardless of ward boundaries. Does that make sense? Because a lot of the way that we are dealt with is by the dividing of us. Oftentimes, the aldermen are brought into why you can't understand why they don't work together collectively is because they don't convene collectively for the interests of Black folks. They typically convene for the interests of their ward. I think it's very easy for us to operate in silos, but if you have to see the people, right, and be truthful with the people, let's not gimmick them nowhere. Let's make sure that when we ask people to come, let's be honest. We're starting from zero. And it's going to take us to build it. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages. I want to know, Riis, have you ever met a racist, non-racist? How do you know when you're dealing with somebody that's a racist? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the characteristics. How do you know and how do you deal or how do you operate with it? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTDPN.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 8:02 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. Well, on traffic on the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop is an hour. Outbound to O'Hare is just 28 minutes. On the Edens, from Deerfield to Exchange is in 1 hour. Exchange back out to Deerfield will be 36 minutes. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop is an hour. Back out to Thorndale will be 38 minutes. On the Stevenson, from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 50 minutes. Outbound just 34. On the Bishop Ford, from I-80 to the Dan Ryan will be 41 minutes. 38 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 41 minutes to the Loop. 14 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Lakeshore Drive, south of 55th to Jackson is 8 minutes. Jackson to 55th will be 9. On the north side of things, Randolph to Bryn Mawr 8, Bryn Mawr 2, Randolph 15. Today's weather, it is currently 50 and mostly cloudy. Today will be a high of 54 with a low of 37. I'm Riis the Ruler. Here's Loch Ness with Terrorism here on The Maze Jackson Show.
To fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and caught a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater. But she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gonna tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative. It's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wilding with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there is terrorism.
Terrorism.
WIFTBPM.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stoger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. Riis, they don't want to call. They scared to talk about it. I know y'all scared.
Scared to go to church. That's probably why preacher said y'all can't call. It's okay though. I'll be talking. So I want to point something out. Shout out to my man Devin Gordine. I don't know if I was clear about this map, right? And I want y'all to be. Let me help y'all understand what happened. We finally got the keys to the kingdom, quote unquote. Now, I need you to park your disdain for the Black Caucus to the side for just a minute, okay? So, Riis, imagine if for 20 years y'all been working and it's a white boss. And the white boss retires and the promotion goes to one of your coworkers. Right? And your coworker says to you, look, y'all, we ain't got to use our black card because I'm the boss right now. So I'm going to write it up for us and we can save our black card for later because I'm the boss. Michelle Harris, there was no Black Caucus map. And understand that they're trying to make the city's map be pigeonholed as the Black Caucus map, so as to present the perception that it is not the city. So when Dick Mel presented the map, it was the city's map. When Michelle Harris presents the map, it's the Black Caucus map, because don't nobody love black people. So the Latinos are leveraging our blackness against us, and the black woman who drew the map with 17 black wards in it and fostered an agreement with the white folks are being held hostage now by the 13 Latinos who like, we're not going to respect you or your ability to put out this map. Not the Black Caucus map, but the city map. And understand that if we got the spot and we all in the room, we don't got to make it black. What is known need not be said. What is understood need not be said. So, Devin, when you say the Black Caucus didn't submit a map, I got to push back on that. Because we know that nobody, if it says Black Caucus map and you put it up, and who loves black people? You think the white folks voting for the Black Caucus map? Which is why the Latino caucus is dividing it along race. What we don't see is the fact that all of the white aldermen are on board with the city map. It is the rogue Latino caucus in this space that is pushing the black narrative. And can I understand? Let me help y'all understand. Can I tell y'all something? What's so funny about this whole thing is the city's lawyer is Mike Casper. Mike Casper was one of the top generals in the Madigan Army, right? But he's been a professional at this. So the city hired him as their attorney. The Latino caucus hired Victor Reyes as their attorney, right? Why is this important? Because Victor, who is now behind the scenes at the Latino caucus, is now using and playing the race card, and was his job for so long was to keep us fractured. Remember HDO? So now they got the guy who had the blueprint of how to keep black folks fractured and at each other, running the playbook behind the scenes, and now got us arguing a black-brown issue when it's the city, it's the Latino caucus against the whole entire city. Do y'all understand that? So understand that we shouldn't have had to submit a black map because we got the spot. If you got the chief, I shouldn't have to. The chief you ain't got to tell the chief, look out for the black folks. Now, please, I understand your disdain for the Black Caucus, but understand that right now, our disdain for the Black Caucus is being leveraged to steal our birthright. You may not elect those same people again, but if they take you off the map, you ain't even going to get to be in the spot that you fought for. So we're going to essentially allow someone else to whoop our own people's ass. To our demise. If somebody gonna kick our people's ass, can we be the people that do it? And when they get here's my thing. If we sit back and let them get their ass kicked, they giving away your future. I'm sorry, y'all. But that's the reason we all got to get in the room. See, the Black Caucus shouldn't be able to avoid black people. Just like the mayor, just like the governor. Like, imagine the governor imagine the Black Caucus saying, Mr. Governor, instead of talking to us right now, you got to come and be in front of the Black Congress. Now everybody that you lied to is in the room. Now, what's going to happen now is you're going to start to see politicians starting to scramble to try and convene something, and they're going to start calling y'all up individually and being like, come on in. Nah, dog, come to the big meeting. Come on to the big meeting. Here's the other problem. Or the other challenge. The other challenge is we often think somebody is trying to take something from us. Or I'm not interested in coming to a room where I'm going to be judged by people like, who made you the judge? Right? You don't know me. You don't know my circumstances. But we don't even know the people. We just know their Facebook profile. So it's easy to go ham. It's easy to go crazy. Imagine you got to see that person once a quarter no matter what. Gonna make you think twice. And if we just in our actions, when you wrong, somebody gonna say, dog, you was wrong for that. And it's not every man for himself. See, the other part that I think the challenge of this is, and we got to really get it out of the air, is everybody got some class issues. If you an ex-offender, then you saying that the people who went to college ain't nothing. Or if you was in a Black Greek letter organization, then you sold out the people. And so by the time you come into the room with people that you don't even know, you have already. That's why I'm saying everybody comes. The spirit of discernment will be there. I think the preachers should come. Why let the preachers get off and say we wasn't invited instead of saying, no, this is how you'll be accountable in the future? Or don't tell us you didn't know because there was nowhere to go. Man, bro, we meeting once a quarter. Let me tell you something. You don't see me asking you to come to a lot of stuff. You don't see me asking you to do a lot of stuff because I want to always maintain your trust. Right? I'm not perfect. And I've been loath to even try to be a part of pulling this stuff together because it becomes taxing. It really does. But y'all, it's like the White Walkers are coming. And I got a feeling that if this thing goes to a referendum, they're going to count on us being disorganized and unwilling to talk. And I'm telling you, they have already deployed the master swordsman who made it a career to keep us divided. Real talk. And it's like, I know what happens over there because I was over there. I didn't really realize that's what was going on until you realize who's walking in, who's walking out, who's our allies, and what the deal is. Where do you ask the question? Besides Facebook. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Hey, Riis. Have you ever experienced a racist, non-racist, or non-racist racist? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? a non-racist racist, like a person who. Let me back up. Here's a better way to put this. Riis, how do you know when you're dealing with someone that's a racist? Have you dealt with a racist?
Only the police.
Only the police. So you've never, have you ever experienced like racism as an individual? Let me ask you, give us a call, 872-259-7474. Have you ever experienced,
At work.
And what is that? What does that look like?
True story. I had a lot of jobs. I was an engineer at the Marriott, by Midway at the Midway Marriott. So, I'm working there. I'm the only black person there. So like, or you can put your coats and stuff. It was like a little back room, but you know, like the way that I am, like I really don't touch anything because that's how I don't want you to touch nothing of mine. So if I come in your space, I try to avoid touching anybody's stuff. So I go in there and like one day I get called like to the office. I'm like, man, like what I did, you know, maybe I stayed 7 minutes over lunch or something. You know, I'm thinking like, so they was like, how you doing? It's a purse that was stolen. I said, okay. He was like, yeah. They said it was a purse. Did you see a purse? I said no, because I think that I was like, no. I just came in really and just went to the first room and started working on the echo. You know, I just started working. You know, I just put my coat there. I told me I could put my coat. They said, well, you know, you're the only person that actually be back here. So I'm like, beside the person that put their purse back is, you know what I'm saying?
All right, now, Riis, now you got me worried because remember, Jussie, you be having a great one, Jussie. Now I got to watch you now, but go ahead.
So I asked them, and they interviewed nobody else. Like even my boss came to me afterwards, was like, "Hey man, they had reached out to me, said, you know, where you hang your coat at, it was a person there, and they don't know where the purse is at." So I was like, you know, feeling like. I didn't take a purse. I said, it's cameras. I'm in a hotel. Like, I walk and leave out the same door. Why would I put a whole purse at? You know, and then, so I asked him if he interviewed anybody else. He was like, no, they just interviewed you. I mean, like, to me, I thought that was, like, pretty. Until come to find out that she had a purse the whole time.
She misplaced it.
She misplaced the purse.
Did they owe you an apology? Did they apologize?
You know, it's the one where, it's sorry, but I don't want it now, you know, because you only interview me, you know, you only interview me, and you know, like I've never shown any cutthroat tendencies at all. And
how do we know? You just be good though.
I could just be real good.
You could just be real good, right? So I was just saying, Riis, you never know. So I'm just curious though, have you ever experienced racism, or have like when you can't put your finger on it, but you be like, hold on, dog. Something ain't right here. Something just ain't right. I feel like, and what does that look like? I would ask you also, do we as black folks expect a little bit of racism and tolerate it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we kind of chalk it up as to a part of the experience of being black? Riis, I'm just saying.
Yes and no.
Okay, when you say yes and no, give me yes and no.
So, yeah, some people do. Like, they expect, but then I know, like, somebody, like, they like, listen, I don't care what it is. Like, I'm ready. You know, like as soon as they act crazy with me, I'm going to show them.
What's acting crazy, though? How do you, so let me ask, that's my point, though. How do you know, like, when you're experiencing racism?
You know when somebody acting funny.
But you can't say, but how do you articulate it? Right? How do you know you're not just being sensitive? That's just, you just misinterpreted the situation.
Oh man, you know when you know, like you say how you can't put your finger on it. You know when somebody, when you being racist, like you know it. You know it. They just say certain things, you know, like it's just a certain way. Like my main racism though, I told you, it's like the police when they actually just like you know what I'm saying, like racism way, like questions and stuff like that, but. You know it.
Have you ever experienced worse? So give me a question. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Have you experienced a racist, non-racist? Like, where you be like, You can't call it. And do you feel it? And do you just chalk it up? How do you manage it? Right? Because I feel like I've been in some spaces where you be like, okay, I know I don't smell. I know I got some brains. I know I'm articulate. And how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? Because I feel like I think oftentimes we will trade a little bit. How do you, like, I was just curious, like, how do you tell someone, or are you just being sensitive? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Have you ever experienced a racist, non-racist? I don't know, man. I feel like, have you ever felt the need to be a representative when you go out? To make sure, sometimes, Riis, I feel like I overtip just because I feel like they expect me not to tip. You ever done anything like that?
I mean, I tip. I don't do like the 15. Like you know how sometimes people actually put the actual 15% in there, but like I tip.
What you tip though? Do you tip 15? Do you 15, 20? You tip 18 or 20?
It's probably it's more than 15. So like, you know, like I just really like I never do it. You know what I'm saying? I just really just, you know.
You don't do the math.
I don't do the math.
You just say this. Look about a.
Yeah, you know, like I know what's more than 15. So. You know, so yeah, it'd be more than 15, but it's cool. It's cool if you don't expect me to tip, and that's another place. You know, when you go in certain restaurants, you know, just the way they judge you off your service. It's just a little.
How do you like? And when you say, but what? Like, what's that? Like, what is that subtle racism? And how do you know it's racism? See, I feel like it's when you get put in that question, you be like, how you know? It's like when you black, you just be like,
you know.
How do you articulate it? Like, give me an example, though, because you said you know it. I mean, I'm telling you, give me examples all the time. Like, if you are black, how do you experience racism in a daily basis? In what places? Do I treat you like a racist? I be treating everybody like, you be like, no, I just treat y'all like slaves. No, oh, God, let me not say that. I think I'm a good boss, and I'm not even really a boss. I really just be like, could y'all just do what I ask y'all so I could just not have to talk about it?
It's kind of a boss, but okay. Can you just do what I tell you to do?
Oh my God! Just do what I ask you. That's all I'm asking.
So I don't have to do it, but it gets done. But I'm not the boss.
James says he tips his people more. I feel like I try to overcompensate sometimes. Like I feel like sometimes I don't even get the best, but I be like, just because you didn't give me the best, I want you to go home and be like, dang. I feel kind of crazy.
Yeah, while she counting, man, can you believe I didn't eat? And then that right there, she counting them. They over-tipped me, and I didn't even pay them a lick of attention. Imagine if I would have actually paid them some attention. Like, nah, I pay you for the exact service that I get. the exact, however much tip you want, is the exact service I'm gonna get.
Audrey says, I usually say in a very black voice. Oh, okay. That's what we on? Wait, what's a very black voice? And like, anytime, okay. Ooh, yikes. You have racists, and then you have people who are fighting against racism while other people are on the sidelines. But those on the sidelines are just as bad. Hey, man, don't be around here. Devin, don't get blocked. You did it right, Devin, because I had to put you on the list. Erica Burton said a flight attendant asked if I had taken something off her cart, then apologized. Like, why I got to take something off the cart?
See that right there.
Is that racism or is that just? But why you call that racism? That's just maybe she just misplaced it.
Was I the only black person in that area? And did you ask any white people that's racism? White people still too. Like, what's wrong with you? White people just told you a car. Like, what's wrong with you? You see that? Like, No, I didn't take it. But you immediately when you in a group
Do you
of
feel
people,
like when something bad happened though, you feel like everybody looking at you to start?
Right. So you just gonna start here, huh? So
You gonna start right here.
Start right here. Huh?
Kenneth still cracking me up. Kenneth said, I remember filing the accident report at Western and Belmont Police Station, and a detective asked me if I wouldn't mind standing in the lineup.
That's
what if they picked you?
Oh God! Right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's race. Like I was pulled over one time. I was pulled over one time, and this officer swear I was avoiding him. Like, yeah, I saw you turn into the gas station. I said, for a pop that my girl asked me to get, would you like to look at the text messages? And then as he was leaving, he said, "Sir, is it a dead body in your trunk?"
What?
I swear to God, he asked me, was it a dead body in my trunk? I felt so like, really? Like that's really, I went to the police station to tell his captain. His captain told me, a white shirt replied, "Oh, no, he was just playing. I swear to you." And I was like, that's playing? Like,
with black people, it is. It is.
If it's a dead body in my trunk, like that's playing. And your response to it, and that's your response to it, like
what you do after that though.
Like
What is your recourse to racism?
Depending on what.
Like when you experience it, what recourse do you have?
It just depends on the situation and where I'm at.
You ever flip the table?
No. I'm too player for that. You know, I just eat all your food until you had bad service and leave. That's it. Like, you just gonna put me out. I appreciate it. I'm running it up, and I'm walking out. That is it. What you gonna do? You gonna call mall security? By the time they get there, I'm gone already. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not a crime. We got into it. I felt racist. I left.
But you said I felt racism. How do you feel?
No, you asked me. I'm saying that's what, like, I would never flip a table over. I would just eat the food and leave, and just tell me I had a very bad. I would call corporate and tell me I had a very bad experience.
I forgot Riis said.
Yeah, I'm gonna call corporate and tell me I had a very, very bad experience.
What would your expectation be if you called them? You said would you tell them no that it was a race? Would you have?
Of
course. I feel like I don't. If you say racism, then they automatically, oh God, here we go.
You gotta win. Yeah.
You telling them?
I'm telling them. I'm throwing my cheat code in. I'm throwing it in.
Dang,
I'm
Riis.
throwing it in. Like if a gay person was there, they'd say, I think they did it because I was gay. It worked for them.
I think there's a lack of a sensitivity when it's black folks though.
See, but why though? We've been treated the worst. It's like we always say,
y'all need to get over yourself.
It's
okay.
Okay. It's okay. No,
Riis, you tripping, man. Y'all crying, man. Get over it. I think sometimes we're just hypersensitive.
Or we just been
gunshot
racismly offended so much that it's the norm.
I ask you, is it a point where we just be like, you know what? As long as don't nobody spit in my stuff, right? And as long as my food come hot, I don't care about the rest of it, and I make my own experience.
Exactly. But it shouldn't. But why should I have to
Do you think
feel
that's
like
a
that?
regular black experience?
Yes, I think it's the majority of black experience. I believe that we have to, like, go in there. We gotta, like, we dang near train our kids to say, when you go outside, like, behave yourself, don't embarrass. Like we do that. So it's like, man, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, I just believe that in our minds, like, racism has been, like, done, and, like, we so used to it that we see it, and we, like you said, we can't call it, but we know it. Like, we know it. We like.
It's like you just be like, man, let me do my job.
Yeah,
right. Let me do my job. Give me my right.
I ain't even finna. I know it's because I'm black, but it's not even.
And right, because then you usually gotta tell somebody white who be like,
it's not.
He's a good guy. It's the Maze Jackson show, boy.
Like I just told that officer, there's a dead body in my trunk. Oh, he joking.
That's not funny, dog.
At all.
At all. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson show. When we come back, we're gonna continue this conversation. Plus, Riis, last night I had dinner with a fighter pilot. I had a dinner with a bunch of funeral directors, too. You know who I thought about yesterday when I was at that meeting? The coffee thief. The coffee swiper. The coffee biter. Toy. Because didn't you say she, hey, man, look, bro, I was sitting there. First of all, I was sitting there like, but Then I had dinner with a fighter pilot, like in Riis. He told me so much about what happens in war and things that I didn't realize were happening for real. Did you ever see that movie Red Dawn?
Oh, yeah.
The original.
No, this ain't no.
You got to watch the original with Patrick Swayze and all of the teen stars and Emilio Estevez and all of them. Riis, I never forget watching that movie and seeing them parachutes come down and them soldiers landing, and they was in high school and they looked out the window. The new one don't got nothing on the old one. And we were living during the Cold War, so we all thought it could happen. And Superfly was taking over the world, taking over the country. He was a Cuban. But Riis, I was talking to a fighter pilot yesterday, and he was telling me that we're closer to something like that happening than we really know. When we come back, we're going to continue our last conversation, but we're going to talk about my dinner with a fighter pilot last night. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTVPM.
Oh, man. They done messed around and gave New Era Chicago their own radio show. What they do that for?
You done messed up! So what we doing, bro?
Man, we talk about power.
Did you say power?
Not rights and equality, but power. We ain't begging, we building.
In that order, Chicago, and we got dope segments. Hey, yo, sis, holla at them.
Peace and love, family. It's Sister E of New Era Chicago in the building, dropping the statistics, holistic, and of course the ballistic. Good for the mind, body, and the soul. Let's get it, family.
And this your boy D Cook coming with straight facts. If you don't know, now you know.
And this is your other sister, Omo Oya Music, coming in peace, love, and light, getting real with my people so we can quit with the bull spit.
And this brother E, and I'm gonna wrap it up with the power surge.
Listen, this going down every Wednesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's the Black Power Hour, New Era Chicago Radio on What's in It for the Black People Media.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
The skin I'm in fit me fine, tailor-made, yeah, I'm comfortable. And so it seems I'm still chasing my dreams. They told me, watch my steps, they want to pull the rug from under you. This is transparency, my life 3D. You feel every word that I utter, reporting live from the gutter. Where the mind's hard to change, but we don't give up on our brothers and sisters. Cause we all need one another. The time's getting closer, revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the cops pull you over, they body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so it's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change? It ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear. Justice what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul. Black power gospel tunes. So many styles, watch me kick them like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at attention, ain't no Willie lynching. This the program. Who they think they kidding? Reinvent the system. Total reconstruction of our mental stigma. This ain't a game, boy. Still they think I'm talking about Nintendo's. That's a shame, boy. Augment reality. Better fix your brain, boy. I love my people, hope they love me black. I'm going hard and ain't no holding back. Watch me react. I put my fist up in the skies like a beacon for believers that one day we return to our greatest shit. We seek it all the glory we can obtain and keep reaching. I'm painting this picture. I hope you see it. Guess what the theme is? I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Well, how about you to sing these tunes too? Customize for you a little something you can groove to. Feeling good about yourself. Melanated mood muse. All we serve is humble pie. We don't care about who's who. Light brown or dark skin. This right here's for you too. We are the gods of the earth. Living proof truth. Say it loud if you black and proud. I salute you and that's a fact. Where you at? Let me hear you say it back. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud. Man, I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Super melanation, renovation of our databases. Gotta fix the trinity to make it past the mason. There's a rabbit in the hole. Your decision, you gon' chase it or just shut it for complacency. Here's your motivation. Black power in your veins. Up to us to build a nation. European mental detox completely we erase it. turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey. I do this for my people all across the map. Even for the ones who don't identify with being black. Hebrews the best elixir, go ahead and try your best. It's true serum, I let loose spirits. The ancestors speak to me, I spit the truth, hear it. You broken souls here to re-engineer them so that they fearless. This verse is atmospheric as the hell is spinning. Trying to strategize a way so we can start winning. It begins with pride of yourself, embracing this feeling. Say, no new friends, that's what happened to the village. Too much individualism, it's easier to pillage. I'm just making this appearance for coherence. So
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my I can't call you my co-host, but I got my man DJ Riis the Rule in the building. I love being black. I love being black. Shout out to New Era Chicago. What up, Sister E? Sister Erica? I see you trying to join the Lions Den. You see she be in there trying to mix it up with the Den. Don't be trying to get on our team. Got your own show. No, I'm just playing. Y'all have been in the comments. Give me a call, 872-259-7474. I know y'all scared because you scared your boss going to be listening. So I'm going to read some of these experiences because let me ask a question, Riis. When you come into a place, do you look around for black people? When you walk into a restaurant, like staff or any place, like, I mean, anywhere, do you look for black people?
You know what? That's a good question. And to be honest with you, the answer is no. And what's sad is my next response is based on the area that I go to and probably the restaurant, I kind of already have an assumption of black people, if they're there or not.
If they're there eating or working?
Both.
What about in workplace? Do you look around when you go into a establishment, and regardless of where you, like if you're in a neighborhood, do you look at the business and say what the racial dynamic is? How do you assess that at all? Like I feel like everywhere I go, I count. I look around, I be like, how many people
are working?
Black people working. How many black people are eating? How many black people are shopping here? How many black people, etc.
No, like I said, to be honest, and I know it, as you asked me, I already have a like a pre-answer all in my head. Like if I go to Wendy's on 55th and the damn Ryan, I expect to see all black people, period. If I go to a Wendy's and maybe in Schaumburg, I maybe expect in my mind to see one black, maybe two black people working there, and maybe I'm either the only one or maybe one other black person would probably be in that McDonald's. I just, in my mind is already, like pre-designed, like I'm at this place, you know what I'm saying?
Does it change your expectations based on where you go? Do you have varied expectations?
You can probably say that, like I probably know that if I go to this restaurant and I know there'd be more black people than if I go to this restaurant and be less black people, probably the experience. It doesn't like matter to me each way, but I understand that it could be a cultural difference.
Do businesses have any responsibility to understanding those cultural differences, from your opinion?
I mean, you got the right.
Do they have a responsibility to make you feel welcome?
I mean, yeah, but like you said, man, they have the responsibility. I mean, they can decline service to anyone. So at that same token, that can go either way. But I mean, I think in today's world, you don't want to be labeled as racism because that's almost like ending your career at this moment. Like you can't be homophobic and you can't be racism right now.
Shoot, you better watch your show.
So my show, we let them know that we are not. Not.
That's they say. They clip your other part behind it. Go ahead though.
But yeah, so I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, racist or homophobic.
So,
you're done.
Yeah, so I believe that they definitely try to welcome you at the same time. Certain places I guess they say uphold the standard. So yeah,
nice, nasty.
You can come in here and if you can come into $1,000 a plate establishment, if you got the money, I'm sure they're not gonna say, hey, they may look at you weird when you walk in and you black, I hope they know where they are.
What you mean they'll look at you weird when you come in? Give me that. What does that mean? They look you up and down. Do they be like,
how they look? You know how they you know.
See, but this is what I'm talking about. See, you can't articulate.
You can't articulate.
How you know they do the what? But again, how do you articulate that? Because you're trying to explain it to somebody and they not going to.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, but at the same time that they don't, like you said, at the restaurant, they don't want you to be, you know, loud dancing, all, you know, loud, you know what I'm saying, talking, you know, like compared to like another establishment. So I don't believe that they should make you feel welcome, but, you know, like you got the right to have your own establishment, however you want to like have it. So.
Okay. I'm going to read some of y'all experiences. Erica Burton said, when you go to an establishment and they act like they don't see you, but an order comes in and they greet without hesitation. Hold on. Marjorie says, I experienced racism covertly and overtly for years. Standing in line at the DMV downtown, I was next when the clerk called the person who was behind me, who was white and he was white. I happened so unexpectedly, I didn't know what to do, so I stood there, mouth open, and never said anything, just went on to get my license. I feel like so many times stuff like that happens, and we just chalk it. Microaggression, Adrian Dade says, microaggression is real and so subtle that you don't know it's happening. Martha Reed says, I always notice how many blacks are in certain spaces. Hold on. When your company talks about diversity and inclusion, but artificial barriers are placed to prevent certain movement. 100%. Dr. Audrey says, I've walked in the hospital rooms with my white coat on and been asked if I was there to clean.
See, now that is so disrespectful. All the years for real, that'll offend like all the years and all the education that I put in. I'm a black woman, and the first thing that you want to ask me is that I come in and clean. But if a white doctor would have walked in with the same clean, like you would have immediately assumed that that's the person.
So I got carjacked, dog. That's how I got carjacked.
That is so rude.
That's how I got carjacked, bro. Subtle racism in a restaurant setting is having a server who has several tables, asks is everything okay, and doesn't come to your table with that same question. Adrian Dade, another doctor, said, I performed. What's with the Sigma Gamma Rho doctors on here today? Shout out to Adrian Dade, U of I, ILL, chief from Delta Rho. I performed a procedure on a prestigious person and was asked, how did I get such a referral? As a doctor. My work at Ma Bell in college, my Bridgeport Beehive wearings supervisor said out loud that I messed up writing 10 words on an index card 3 times. I said, don't ever speak to me. Her redhead supervisor supported me.
Well, you see how all these things can just be blew off as regular, like, oh, you.
Well, that's my thing.
You know what I'm saying? You see how that?
It's like they
I'm
all.
Sorry, I thought you.
What do you right? Like, so let me ask a question: do you chalk it up? Do we chalk more racism up than we address? Do we just kind of be like, just give me my table, just give me my.
Yeah, because you know sometimes they be expecting us to go off the meter too. So you know you just can't really give them what they want, but you just be like. You know what, man? It's okay. just like not today. But you know it, like that would like really offend me. Being a whole doctor and you demoted me to the janitor. Yeah.
You know what Ruthie said? Her grandma said, if you give a black man a broom, he can walk in any room. And nobody will question. I believe that. Riis, you could walk into a corporate CEO board meeting at the top of the Sears Tower with all the people, and if you came in there like, excuse me, with a brush and a little thing,
act like
you could get every secret plan ever. Think about that though.
You made me want to go try it.
We should do that as Facebook. Like we should do that as a live thing. Like you should just, you know how to do, be like, well, bow, like, you know, they joke. We should be like, we should follow you with a camera and be like, How many places can Riis get in as a janitor and not with a suit?
Just start
going.
Sweeping up. Just start going in there.
Excuse me. Right. Excuse me.
See how long I can
Excuse me,
stay
sir.
there for
Oh,
somebody.
hey, right. The CEO get out the way. Oh, go ahead, clean up. Right. You come in with a rag, a dust mop, and a push cart. You show up to the door. They'll let you walk straight up in there. You can drop bugs. You can do everything.
That's deep. That's deep. And like for real, and so many.
You want a black man could go anywhere with a broom.
Man, that's so deep. That just tell you our mindset is and what they think of us. Like for real, like that kind of hurt. Like to say that the very first thing that you think that comes into mind though is
that's what they bred us for. That's what they bred us here for. Riis, but think about it. Check this out. If you was at Chicago Cut, you got a private dining room and you are having a private superpower meeting. And the door could be like, do not disturb. If you came in there with a rag, a bucket, and a broom,
and I'm changing like
you could stay in that room the whole time and take notes. Give a black man a broom, he can go anywhere in the world. 761st, at our meeting, y'all got to be securing it. I want people standing outside licensed with their military machine guns like, hey, Joe, we serious about this business. You want the white folks to walk up and be like, uh-oh. No, I'm just saying, like we got all of that in our own crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got security. I mean, Tyrone got police cars. We couldn't convene and have a black Congress. No hype. Just black people coming together and saying, look, yo. Inform us on you inform us on how you got here. And then we create a Rolodex. And trust me, the telltale heart will start beating, and the people that are there to look and tell, they will reveal themselves. And we will get at them. Uh-oh, why are you looking at me like that? They will reveal themselves, and we'll get at them. But I don't think we start with the premise of exclusion. I think that we start with the premise of inclusion. How do we find common denominators for black folks to work together? How do we remove the artificial barriers of mistrust that have been fed? Because I'm telling you right now, they're doing it. Could you imagine, though, if all the guys that was used to always fracturing the black folks looked up and said, oh, wait a minute, and we know who you are? I'm just trying to tell y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. All right, y'all. Riis, last night I had dinner with a fighter pilot, some funeral directors, but I had dinner with a fighter pilot. And Riis, that fighter pilot, is proud to be an American. At least I know I'm free. But Riis, I'm going to tell you, he made me a little nervous. You know, so the man said he done flew in Operation Desert Storm, Operation Enduring Freedom, what's the other one? Desert Shield. He was in all of them. Flew a F-16 fighter pilot. Now, you know, before we could even get into that, I was like, wait a minute. Like, Top Gun. Like, F-16, Top Gun. So he told me his name was Torch. But, you know, he told me how you get your name, too, and they try to make you like a stupid name, and then you got to bribe them with alcohol, and there's a whole story about it. I was like, you can't tell this story out loud because you're going to go to jail now. I mean, they gonna prosecute you. So don't tell nobody else, so I can't tell you the story. But after we got through my Top Gun stories, Riis, I talked to him about the fractured state of America. And it was odd to hear from him because he's a Southern old boy. Babe, shout out. He is a adjunct professor at Tulane University. So when I told him about you went to XU, the school behind the billboard that rocks the house, XU rocks the house, he was like, he knew all about it. He was telling me all these great things. And he was like, it's a great medical school. I mean, great school to get kids into medical school, etc. But Riis, even as a good old boy, we were talking about the fracturing of America, and he was telling me about the reality of what's happening outside of our borders. And he told me, Riis, that China is hell-bent on global domination. And I was thinking, like, are there really people that still do that? You know, like, they'd be like, I can rule the world, and actually have the ability to do it. Then I was talking about that movie Red Dawn, and I asked him, is Red Dawn possible? He said, not now, but definitely, and they are plotting. He was telling me, Riis, did you hear about that movie in China that they got right now, where China goes to war with America and kicks our butt? It's now the #1 movie in China. Remember when China said that they were no more feminine boys? No more K-pop, no more none of that. All our men got to take men classes and how to be a man and masculinity. Riis, I was talking to him and I was asking, and I said, so how, because I was asking him about, terrorism started playing in my head, right? Because I was thinking about MAGA flags and all type of stuff. Your MAGA flag wearing, no mask, so sad, so sad. COVID causing toe tag, right? I was thinking all of this was going through my mind. And Riis, what he said to me, like I didn't put it all together, but right now, America is being attacked from every single angle, externally. The Russians and the Chinese are teamed up, and don't none of us like each other. You know what he told me I should do? He said, Maze, I've watched your show. You need to go on a 30-day bus tour. And you need to just ride the bus around the country, and you need to pop up, and you need to talk to people and just say, what are you thinking? For 30 days and content, and let them tell you what they're thinking, because it's a lot of people who just don't have a voice, and it's a lot of people who would appreciate a refreshing voice like your own. He wasn't mad about what's in it for the black people and none of that stuff. But Riis, did you know that 1 in 5 fentanyl pills are fatal? 1 in 5. I keep asking myself, how would that now drug overdoses are the #1 cause of death in the country? More than car crashes, more than COVID, it's overdosing. And I was like, so, he's telling me about this, and I'm saying, he was like, it's coming from the Mexican cartels over the border, and they're flooding our America because 1 in 5 of those fentanyl pills, and how many times do we open up the news? How many times are you driving down the street and you see people on the dope fiend lean, but you don't even know if they're on the dope fiend lean. You don't know if it's fentanyl. And now fentanyl has become regular. Like now people are not shopping for heroin, they shopping for fentanyl, and 1 in 5 of those pills are killing people, and that the chemicals are manufactured by China. Riis, it was weird to be having a conversation with the U.S. fighter pilot who tells me that outside of American airspace, that on a daily basis, Russia and China are encroaching and getting bolder and bolder and challenging us to the brink of actually fighting and shooting at each other. And I asked him, I said, is there any connection between the cartels and China. He said now the cartels are working directly with China to import and flood the market with as much fentanyl as possible. Imagine 1 in 5 pills. 1, 2, 3, 4 dead. 1, 2, 3, 4 dead. And it's playing out in front of us. And it's almost like we ain't even catching on to it. We got internal threats, we got external threats. But Riis, dinner with the fighter pilot put a lot of stuff in perspective for me yesterday. Who's the most expendable population? Remember the Godfather when they said, give it to the blacks, the coloreds, they're animals. Unfortunately for them, it seeped out of the blacks because the blacks was selling it to the people that jumped on 290. But did you ever think that this rash of deaths from fentanyl could be plotted? Could be a plan? That we are currently being eaten from the inside? And you know how I talk about black folks and not allowing the internal beefs and the internal threats allow us to destroy ourselves so that by the time we do get it together, we're not victims of the external world? And you think about the Asian community right now, and quite frankly, they talk. You know, did you know that there's white Chinese? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dang, Riis, you smart. See, I knew I should have known.
Nah, they had taught us that in school. Like our teachers saying, like, you know, like it's white Europeans. You know, like she was explaining that too. You know, so that's the reason why I know it.
Global domination is their goal. They talk about it. They be about it. And dinner with a fighter pilot last night just left me asking, where do we fit in this puzzle? I know we talk about, when you think about it though, 1 in 5. And where is it going first? To our neighborhoods. Stop Asian hate. Stop the black massacre. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm the host of the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? A lot going on, man. Oh, by the way, can y'all please don't forget, Carrie's got a fundraiser coming up. I'll share the information with you tomorrow. Don't forget December 18th and 19th, our concealed carry class. It'll be a TP 2-day process. Once you leave, you will have everything you need to apply for your concealed carry. And then don't forget, December 21st, Maze Jackson, Maurice Fitzgerald. What's in it for the black people media? We're having a Christmas show.
Is that a Tuesday?
Yep. Blowing up on a Tuesday. In the club on a Tuesday. I can make your cell phone on a Tuesday. It's the week before Christmas, though, so you know ain't nobody going to be working. We got to think about what songs we want to sing. Hey, Riis, I think I'm going to try and get a karaoke in, too, before the Christmas, too. I think I'm going to give me a Christmas karaoke. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. So for Maze and Riis, Ruthie, and whatever dude name, Todd. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed